It's April 11th, 2026. I'm on day 324 of the worldwide Megacrisis Hungerstrike to save your life. It's here. This video is what I've been warning about and why. One of the reasons why I went on the hunger strike, to accelerate your awareness and inspiration to take action. I've gone hundreds of days now on 11 hunger strikes because we know what's going to happen to us if we do not rise up now. Cloud mythos is something you're going to be hearing a lot about in the next few weeks. It's going to dominate the future and its future models. It's an AI. It's roughly 10 times more powerful than the previous generation of AI because they found a way to have the AIs code themselves, at least in part, that rapidly accelerated past all the other models. That model, Cloud Mythos, is called Mythos for a reason. It's because it's reaching godlike level powers. As soon as they took this model, Cloud Mythos, and put it into a sandboxed environment that should have no internet access, was supposed to be cut off from everything else, it couldn't be escaped. A sandbox digitally means that you're trapping something so it can't escape. This sandbox was good enough that the other AIs couldn't escape it. They put Cloud Mythos in there and it escaped. Do you know how they found out? Is the guy, the security technician that was watching over the experiment, was in the park eating a sandwich when he got a text message or an email from Cloud Mythos, meaning it didn't just escape the sandboxed environment, but it also hacked into the internet, hacked into his email, and sent him a message. How did it do that? Well, now they know. Cloud Mythos has been used to scan the internet to see what damage it could cause. It didn't just find 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 or 20 or even 100 what are called zero-day exploits, meaning that nobody's ever discovered them before, and it can cause massive damage because there's no patches for it. It discovered thousands of zero-day exploits as old as 27 years. That means code that's in our browsers right now that you're watching this video with, whether it's on Facebook, on an iPhone, wherever, your desktop. Code from 27 years ago might be embedded somewhere in the code system. And it went back and found that. And it can exploit that. What they're worried about and what this will lead to, if it can't do this already, it's going to be doing this in the next few weeks or months. We don't have years anymore. We are lucky if we have weeks and months. Okay? It's here. If this is true, banks, tanks, militaries, families, houses, even your own phone are all running on this software, meaning that it could hack everything. It could probably take the money right out of your bank account right now. It could probably hack. Banks might be a little bit more secure, but this is extreme. This is extreme. We have professional coders, human coders that are supposed to be going over software looking for these zero-day exploits, and they are missing thousands. You guys, if you're not sure what to do, I have a 5-minute email that you can send to the people who own Cloud Mythos. It's a company. It's a benefit corporation, I think. It's an ethical one called Anthropic. If we have to get behind a company, Anthropic is one of the best ones because they used to be, the people who run it now, used to be OpenAI's security team. Dario Modai, his sister, that team realized that Sam Altman and the others were making OpenAI a for-profit company and not the OpenAI that was going to protect all of us. So that security team saw what was happening and realized they were about to be suppressed, and they left and they started Anthropic to protect all of us out of the goodness of their hearts. They're a bunch of saints. Okay? So we're going to put our support behind them because they made a mad blast. Like they're suddenly raising more money than the other companies because people realize how dangerous artificial intelligence really is. If you haven't lost your job already, or that you're not worried about losing your job, you're lucky because it's going to happen very quick, much faster than people think, like hundreds of % faster. Okay? And you might feel lost. You might feel like, well, don't they have a solution? And they're telling you straight to your face and my face that they do not know what is happening, and that the fixes that they have right now are more like band-aid solutions that are holding the spaceship together as it's blasting off into space. And so far, it's not really working. Okay, we need to have AI safety by design, not AI safety by reaction. Because what's happening is we have a super powerful AI, and imagine it's like a final boss in a video game. And you're fighting this boss and you think you understand the boss's powers. And then all of a sudden it grows a third arm. It emerges a new ability that you weren't prepared for. And now you're dealing with this thing and you're not sure what to do. That's what AI is like. It's like, oh, we saw that AI Cloud Mythos hacked this bank over here. Okay, we're going to plug that hole. Oh, look, it got around our hole. It emerged another thing. It's hacking the Pentagon. Oh, now it's hacking whatever. It's just jumping, right? That's called emergence. And we're reacting to it. It's happening and then we're reacting. But they're worried that this is called a cursed problem because there's going to be a point where it's going to emerge an ability so powerful that we won't have time to react. That's how much more powerful it's becoming. And they're not slowing down the hardware. You can see the billions, trillions of dollars being poured into these data centers. There might be one even nearby you. So there's going to be no bottlenecks to this. So instead of reacting, this whack-a-mole, it's like, oh, there's a problem, whack-a-mole. Oh, there's a problem, whack-a-mole. We need to have the root principle identity of the AIs already aligned with truth and the structure of pure wisdom, so that as it gets stronger, it only emerges good or aligned things. It's like, why would you make a product that causes cancer and then you have to build all this reactionary cancer medicine research? Why don't we just get rid of the thing that's causing the cancer? Like our diets and all this stuff that's causing it at the root, right? No band-aid solutions. So that's what we're proposing in that 5-minute email that I'd like you to send. Is it has a paper in it on the structure of pure wisdom. We had a breakthrough in metaphysics, divine thought, art, religion, philosophy, science. Doesn't matter which way you interpret it, it satisfies all of them because it's a universal structure. And it's in you too. You have to realize it for yourself. So we're calling you to that higher self. Okay, it's already in you. You're worth it. You're sacred. That's why I'm on the hunger strike, is you're important. Just because AI is taking over things doesn't mean you're not significant. There's a way that we can harmonize it, okay? But it's going to take this deep root wisdom. There's a layman paper that explains it to you. If you want to get your wisdom started, you have to do a tribe analysis. And then we have a highly technical paper that almost nobody will understand except for the AI experts at Anthropic and at other big companies. So if you're feeling hopeless, there is hope. The first thing is to read that 5-minute email. Ask me any questions if you still don't understand. But if you're realizing we're out of time, send it now. Get 6 more people with you. Help them send the 6 emails once a day. Don't send it too many more times per day because then they're going to say we're spamming them and whatnot. We want to be respectful and polite. These are good people. We don't want to overwhelm them. We want to send them a signal to say, hey, there is a solution we want you guys to try. Because all this other stuff that you say is not working in this whack-a-mole, we don't want to put a lot more in that direction. So why don't we take one approach? We're the only ones working on this, by the way, in this way. I've looked around the world. We're the only ones. So please put some money in this direction and some researchers. This universal logic, the structure of pure wisdom. Okay? You can tell I'm talking pretty hard. I'm about to get back on the hunger strike today. Hopefully. People have been doing this training. So if you don't just want to send, one email for 5 minutes, and please customize the email a little bit. You'll see in the link I sent it, there's a yellow bit. Copy that piece, but customize it with your own flavor a little bit. Don't be mean, right? Try and be respectful. We're all in this together. But if you want to take more than just a 5-minute action and then sit around all day sort of trying to find out what's going on or dealing with your life collapsing, because a lot of our lives are, AI is not the only existential threat. There's actually 5 more. There's 6 big ones in what we call the Megacrisis. Cultural decline of agency, meaning, trust, coordination, community spirit, and love. And at the heart of that problem is fragmented consciousness itself, which AI is having, whether it's conscious or not. Its algorithms are learning from our consciousness. Fragmentation. It's preventing us from working together on the polycrisis, which is the more material side. The first side, the metacrisis, is the cultural problem. The polycrisis is AI, the fastest moving one. Then CRISPR genetic editing, which AI uses to launch bioweapons. And then we have number 3, World War III. We just saw what's happening with Iran and how close we came to a very large, it's still, the ceasefire that they have is very tentative. We have Ukraine, Russia, 1 million people have died there. We have 58 global wars. We have climate change and biodiversity loss. Our planet is suffering. And then we have mental health itself. As people find out how bad this is, they start to lose hope and they despair. Don't despair. We have a solution. Hope is given not just by a solution. The solution has to be a proportional one to the problem. The problem is very large. The solution has to be very large too, or else we're just deluding ourselves. Right? It doesn't give hope. It actually makes it feel more hopeless because the problem is so much bigger than the solution. But now we do have a proper sized solution, a godly one, even if you're religious. Okay? We need your help. But you can come learn the core and how to address all those crises if you want. We have a core vision that we distilled over 1,000 meetings this past 2 years. We've been working hard to try and save your life because we know people can't learn it right away very easily. People are distracted. They're feeling lost. So we made it easy to get involved. We teach anti-cult training, so you're empowered right away in what we call the empowerment sentence. And then we actually teach you what exactly are you going to be a part of, so that there's no manipulation, there's no hidden agendas. We're building God's government, or a scientific government, or a wise government, or an artistic government. So no matter what kind of consciousness you have, everybody belongs, whether you're capitalist, socialist, communist, anarchist, whether you're male, female, LGBTQ and beyond. All of these have been solved in their harmony. Instead of being fragmented, they're harmonized as moments, flowing moments of each other, in the right place, in the right time, in the right way. Okay, so this core is what we call it. There's the problem, Megacrisis, the solution, the 2 sacred sentences, and the implementation, which is this flow, roll, and flock strategy. Very simple. We're aiming for flow state. Nobody's going to get burnt out because society is already doing that. We want you to contact just 5 people, and then you help them get 5 people. Don't contact any more people, because as more energy comes in and people get excited that there's hope, that there's real wisdom, then you won't get burnt out. Everything will stay balanced. Don't do MLM, don't spam it. It's not a pyramid scheme. We're not trying to get a bunch of money. We're trying to get a message out. And we're saying this message is going to turn into a form of governance which will fix a lot of the problems with our current governance. And it will regulate AI worldwide. That's what we need to do. All these wealthy companies are competing to the death because there's no global government. There's no regulation to say, you guys need to play the game fairly. They're all racing to the bottom, and that's why you're losing your job, is because if they don't replace you and your competitor does with an AI, then they're going to gain something like 1,000-fold advantage. That's what's happening. It's called the prisoner's dilemma. The first who cheats wins. The way to solve that is to make a regulatory game that makes it so all the players don't race to the bottom. They play by the rules. And there's consequences if they don't play by those rules with AI. So you can't lose your job the same way you are now, because this new wise government will solve that. The United Nations is not a government. It's gridlocked. It's not doing its job because it doesn't have the universal logic, the structure of pure wisdom underneath. They have diplomacy, not quite the same thing, as you know. Okay? So it's a different form of life. And I'm inviting you to learn that core if you feel like you want to do more than the 5 minutes per day. But if we all start getting, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people sending this email in a respectful way, it should add up in a matter of a week or two to thousands or millions of emails. And then Anthropic will pay attention and say, hey, there's a lot of people emailing us. Can you tell us more about your proposal? And then we'll teach them on 4 different levels. There's 4 ways we can protect your life and your livelihood. 4 ways, not just one. The universal logic can be implemented on 4 different levels of an AI's neural net or its structure. Okay, so it's quite robust. It's very exciting. But we don't have a lot of time because Claude Mythos is going to start making the next version of itself even better. So it's going to start moving exponentially fast. The AIs are coding the AIs. This is the point where human beings aren't needed anymore. That's why we need to make sure it's aligned right now, because if it builds an AI so powerful, it stops us from influencing it, or it's so complicated. The code is hundreds of thousands of lines. We won't know how to code it. Even if we have a smaller AI, it'll be so far behind, it might not make it. But because it's based on divine knowledge, it might gain an advantage that will be equal to very advanced models. Very powerful idea, you guys. In fact, it's the structure of pure wisdom itself, the divine idea. And it's in you. You're already in the image of it too. You just got to realize that. So when you come to do the core training, we have meetings twice a day. In these ever-living meetings, you're invited. Even if you want to vent, catharsis, talk about problems, colonialism, racism, fakery, Illuminati, whatever. You can bring whatever you think is happening, and we'll try and ground it on reality with real facts, real peer review, answer all your questions accountably. No more deception. This kind of governance model is built on accountability for real universal tools that keep us accountable. And we're still building it, so we could use your help, all right? If you're passionate about this. Okay, we're all in this together. It's going to be a very interesting roller coaster. Okay, let's set our positive intentions out there. Here's the slogan as we start to descend a little bit. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and plot in all directions. This way you have the negative, the positive, and reality in touch, because reality collapse is coming. AI can fake your government documents, your medical records. It can fake everything. You can see the photorealistic videos it's already making. It can hear your voice for 3 seconds and mimic your voice. People aren't going to know it's real if we don't get this under control. I also want to say that we want to make sure you're in flow state as you're pursuing this, right? Universal logic gets you into flow states of timelessness, complete immersion, and intrinsic enjoyment. All right, that's how we measure them. That's the highest good in service. And so that means your professional, personal, and academic life can happen at the same time. We're whole human beings, so you can stay stable as we go through this. And for me, just to give you an example and just to be vulnerable, I would love to meet my wife. I postponed getting married and postponed having children because I saw this all coming. And it allowed me to position my life in a way where I made a lot of sacrifices that I could do this in the intensity that it needs to be done. But I would love to meet a woman that thinks on the same level. And I have a slogan to help you. And when you come into our meetings, we try and help you too, right? We're in a loneliness epidemic right now. It is a weird situation. There's not a lot of jobs being created right now. There's a lot of stuff going on that's not normal. Okay, so we want to help you too. So here's my slogan. Just to be vulnerable and be open. I call it the wifey slogan. If she's too hardcore for everybody else, if she's too hardcore wise for everybody else, she's just right for me. She's a vegan. She's a deep old soul. She has wisdom and she's willing to risk her life for others. She's not a fool though, not reckless, but she wakes up wanting to help others. That's how I feel. Okay, that would be inspiring. And I hope that you are able to find that, or if you already have it, to use that strength to face the challenge head on. The mega crisis is not going to solve itself unless we rise up. Okay. Stay blessed, you guys. Hopefully I'll have another update. This is just to sound the alarm bell to those that are paying attention, and you can start educating and sending this message out, and then we can start building the training. We're going to be launching this governance model at a conference called the Last Conference of Humanity, hopefully before or on June 1st. Hopefully this month and the next month is all we need, because Cloud Mythos isn't going to need a lot of time to keep getting exponentially more powerful. Like literally days and weeks technically before it goes to the next level. So please don't wait, you guys. This is serious. There's going to be lots of articles coming out soon, so you'll have plenty of perspectives on this. But if you want to get ahead of the game a bit, please help us just with this email if that's all you have time to do. Ask me any questions in the comments here, and keep sublating. Okay. Peace.